Substance abuse is the misuse of a number of different substances for the purpose of altering the mind and mood. Most commonly considered are drugs, legal medicines and illegal drugs, and alcohol, but it also includes glue and solvent abuse and inhalants commonly found in household products. More recently, the use of so-called legal high has become part of common usage. Drugs. Illegal drugs. All illegal drugs cause harm. In the United Kingdom, there are 3 categories of drug depending on how much harm they are considered to cause. Category A drugs are the most harmful, and addiction can be immediate. These include heroin, cocaine, ecstasy, LSD, amongst others. Category B drugs are also very harmful and can cause addiction. These include speed, cannabis, ketamine, methadone, and some amphetamines. Category C remain harmful and can have life-changing consequences. They include anabolic steroids, often misused by some gym goers to build muscle mass quickly, GHB, and some tranquilizers. It's illegal to buy or sell these drugs, and it's also illegal if you knowingly allow these drugs to be used on your premises or in your house. This includes school property. Misuse of medicines. Of course, medicines given by the doctor or bought over the counter and used correctly are really important for our health. The companies who make these medicines have already ensured that they are safe for use when prescribed by doctors. Indeed, it can be very dangerous not to take prescribed medicines, given for a very wide variety of needs. Medicines are only dangerous if a doctor has not prescribed them for you, or you do not take the right amount. Some medicines that doctors prescribe for very good reasons can be stolen and sold to people who should not be taking them. This is not only illegal, but it's also very dangerous. Alcohol. Alcohol in the form of beer, wines and spirits is legal when bought and consumed by adults over the age of 18. Whilst many people enjoy the taste and mildly mood-changing effect of limited amounts of alcohol, for many others it's a real problem. Alcohol can be addictive, which means an alcoholic needs more and more drink just to get through a day. The more alcohol that is drunk, the more damage it is likely to do to the organs of your body. It can affect your mood and mental state, often causing depression, inappropriate and sometimes aggressive behaviour, and removing the ability to make good and safe decisions. Some people with particular illnesses or taking some medications can find alcohol even more damaging. The same is true for pregnant women, as the alcohol goes into the bloodstream and is carried to the unborn baby. For young people, the body is not yet fully developed and can be damaged even more quickly by excessive or regular intake of alcohol. Inhalants. Over 1,000 everyday household products contain chemicals that are safe in normal use, but if sniffed or inhaled in closed spaces, are toxic. Some people do this to have a very short high feeling. However, there's a real danger that the chemicals can cause irreversible physical and mental damage, even leading to death. Smoking and vaping. Tobacco is a plant that contains many dangerous elements, in particular nicotine, carbon monoxide, and tar. Additionally, there are more than 4,000 other chemicals in tobacco, many of which are harmful to our health. These chemicals affect our heart, lungs, brain, and many other organs and cells of the body, and smoking is highly addictive. Some people believe that vaping is safe, but in fact it still contains nicotine, but in smaller quantities than cigarettes. Additionally, electronic cigarettes have been known to explode in the face of users, causing serious burns and injuries. Legal high. This term is used to describe substances that mimic the effects of illegal drugs, such as cocaine, ecstasy, and speed, but which have been tweaked chemically in order to avoid anti-drug laws. Since May 2016, so-called legal highs have, in fact, become illegal for production, sale, or supply, and doing so carries a punishment of up to 7 years in prison. They can be very dangerous as the chemicals have not been tested for safety, and therefore users cannot be sure of how they will react. Again, they can lower inhibitions, which leads to poor judgment and risk-taking behaviour. Why are these substances dangerous? Addiction. Addiction is defined as not having control over doing, taking, or using something to the point where it could be harmful to you. There are lots of reasons why addictions begin. In the case of drugs, alcohol, and nicotine, these substances affect the way you feel, both physically and mentally. These feelings can initially be enjoyable and create a powerful urge to use the substances again. Being addicted to something means that not having it causes withdrawal symptoms or a come down. Because this can be unpleasant, addicts find it easier to carry on having or doing what they crave, and so the cycle continues. Often, an addiction gets out of control because you need more and more to satisfy a craving and achieve the high. The strain of managing an addiction can seriously damage your school, work, life, and relationships. In the case of substance misuse, for example, drugs and alcohol, an addiction can have serious psychological and physical effects on the individual, and also badly damage family and friends. While some drugs are not known to be addictive, the statistics show that a large percentage of users will go on to try other types of drugs. Not controlled by chemists. Illegal drugs have no one checking on what is actually in the drug or how strong it is. Many dealers will mix up the drugs with other things, such as household cleaning products, to make it go further. This makes the drug doubly dangerous. Also, drugs and alcohol have different effect on different people. No one can know how they are going to react, and sometimes they only find out by being very ill or even dying from the drug. Dangerous behaviour. Illegal substances alter the way the brain works, and therefore how we act. It shuts down our inhibitions, and so we behave out of character. This can lead to arguments, fights, poor decisions regarding our safety, and doing things that we later really regret. Unfortunately, this is often filmed or photographed, and before long, images of our poor behaviour are out in the public domain. There has been a 25% rise in the number of deaths involving drink or drug driving since 2015. An estimated 9,040 people were killed or seriously injured in 2016, where substance abuse was a major factor. Dangerous company. The buying, selling, and using of drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, and other substances carries other risks. Mixing with criminals is dangerous, and finding the money to buy more and more of the substances inevitably leads to stealing and other criminal activities. What seems harmless and fun quickly leads people into the dark world of crime. What the law says. Possession of Class A drugs can have up to 7 years in prison as a punishment, or an unlimited fine, or even both. Class B drugs, up to 5 years in prison, an unlimited fine, again, or both. And Class C drugs can have up to 2 years in prison, an unlimited fine, and again, both. It's also worth remembering that anyone with a criminal record will never be allowed entry to countries such as the United States of America. Loss of interest in other aspects of life. School. All of the substances have an effect on both the physical body and mental capacity. They restrict us being able to think and work effectively and slow down learning. Issues related to buying the substances are constantly on the mind. Who do you need to meet with? Where will you need to go, and will you be safe? How will you get ever-increasing amounts of money? What if you get caught? What if you have a bad, even life-threatening reaction? Research shows that those involved in such activities gain lower results in school than they are capable of, and tend to drop out of activities such as sports. Most schools have a zero-tolerance approach to taking, buying, or selling illegal substances on school property. This includes the idea of joint enterprise, meaning that you do not have to be caught in the act. Simply the fact that you are with the group is enough to treat you as fully involved. For many schools, the sanction for these behaviours is permanent exclusion. Family, friends, and self-esteem. Perhaps one of the worst aspects of substance abuse is how it makes you feel about yourself. Most of the substances are depressants and make you feel low after the short-lived high. People you care about will start not to want to mix with you anymore, and you live with the fear of being found out by your family, knowing that you will have let them down and disappointed them terribly. Where to get help? So, what if you have already got into a bit of a mess with substance abuse, or if you are worried about a family member or friend? All is not lost. There are many organisations who can help you, whatever the situation you find yourself in. For more information, try www.addaction.org.uk, www.youngpeopleshealth.org.uk, www.nhs.uk, www.childline.org.uk. You can speak to someone at home, a mentor or teacher in your school nurse, or your family doctor. Choose to refuse.